Grand Rising Powerful Being. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to start your own wellness business and why you should. And why you should make wellness your personal business. By that I mean make it a priority in your life. And the more you make it a priority in your life, the more you'll be able to help other people do the same. And I'm going to talk to you about how the wellness industry is becoming one of the most profitable but impactful business ventures there is in the market, because to every demand there must be the right supply, right? Before, we used to live in an industrial age. This is where we needed how to move, we need to create systems. Now we have all of that. Now we have so much luxuries, people need to create wellness, so there's a need. So supply and demand, so there's a demand for wellness entrepreneurs. So this is why the healers need to stand up. Now, the category most people get into is wealth, but a lot of people forget that health is the first wealth. So now a lot of people are in the wealth field, but they're going to also start shifting because they're going to have issues with their health. I'm saying that because I know. So now you want to start to not only cultivate your own health, you want to make wellness your personal business. Now you will be able to make wellness your business. I mean, think about it. What if your life can be around being healthy and keeping other people healthy by either sharing your gift, whether it's with your body, the gift of fitness, whether it's dance, the gift of dance, whether it's nutrition, whether it's counseling, whether it's creating spaces and environments for people to thrive in. There's a need for this service in the world. And in the next 5 to 10 years, mental health is going to be one of the spaces where a lot of people are going to get into because it's going to be needed. To every demand, there must be the right supply, right? So your experience is the supply to the demand of the market. Let me repeat that. Your experience is the supply to the demand of the market. So what I mean by that is, what you overcame is what you can help other people overcome, right? Grand Rising Queen, good to see you. So basically, your go through or your grow through is what you want to help somebody grow through. I only was able to help people with fitness because I've always been an athlete, right? Because I've always been an athlete, it just became common sense. So I was like, okay, I've always been an athlete. What would be the best way of adding value to the world? I was like, you know what? I can become a personal trainer. So 6 years ago, I became a personal trainer, and I didn't have too much. All I had was 4 cones, and I had an apartment in Bel Air. So I said, hey, I'm in college. There's students who want to get in shape. They got financial aid money. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own business. Guess what I called it? Somebody from the back of the room, when I guess what the name was. Wait, drum roll please. Slim Thick Fitness. It was called Slim Thick Fitness, y'all. And the reason why I actually called it Slim Thick Fitness was I was looking at the market and I saw that a lot of people wanted to get flat abs and a big booty. And the market in college, that's what they were looking for. There was the external. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start a Slim Thick Fitness. But that didn't last too long because it was not sustainable over time, because I knew that I would have to evolve out of the college market, right? So I had Slim Thick Fitness was my first business idea. And the reason why I did that was because I looked at the market and see what the world needs. So what you got to do is you have to look at the market and see what people need. Now, there's what people need and there's what people want. What do I mean by that? When you're getting in the wellness space, is what people need and what people want. So what people wanted was a big booty and flat abs. What they needed was healthy habits. What they wanted was to look good. What they needed was better way of moving and having a better way of a paradigm of what wellness is. Thank you for sharing. So basically, you have to realize what are the wants and needs of the market. Once you realize what are the wants and needs of the market, then you're going to figure out how to fill that gap. So how to start your wellness business starts with finding what is the wants and needs of the market. One of the things that I'm doing in my current venture is I'm giving people what they want up front and charging for exactly what they want, and then in the back end I'm giving them what they need. So there's many ways to tackle the wellness industry. As you start your own wellness business, you don't have to think about one facet, right? You don't have to say, okay, I'm just going to help people get healthy. I'm going to make it all about getting healthy. So you can actually give people what they want and give them what they need too. So what do I mean? If people want to look good, people want to feel good, people want to be in relationships, people want to have flat abs, they want to have a big booty, they want to look good. So you can sell that, but then you also talk about the internal, you talk about the habits, you can attract them with that. So what do I mean by that? I used to take the most shirtless photos was 6 years ago. You see me shirtless all the time, right? I was just shirtless every single where I go, right? Because I gave the people what they want. It attracted them and I gave them what they need. So what I meant by that is I said, hey, you want to look like this? Come to fitness. And then when they came, I said, okay, if you actually want to look like this, you have to change your lifestyle. If you actually want to look like this, you have to change the way you think. If you actually want to look like this, you have to change the way you eat. If you actually want to look like this, you have to change how you move and your paradigm about what health and wellness really is. So I looked at the need of my audience and I looked at the wants and desires of my audience and I gave them what they needed. Right? The reason why I gave them, because guess what? Everything that glitters ain't gold, but if you put the glitter first, you reveal the gold. Everything that glitters ain't gold, but people are attracted to glitter. So you got to give them some of that glitter, some of that eye candy to get them in there. So what I mean by that is you attract people based on their desires, but then you understand it's way deeper than a desire. You transpire that desire to something way deeper. So you tell them the benefits of what they're going to get by getting your service, but then you also you give them what they need to make that transformation happen. Here's the thing. You can show what people want, but if you don't have it, you can't give it. Grand Rising, brother. Grand Rising, queen, and kings in the building. So you're like, yo, you can give people what they want, but if you don't have it, you can't give it to them. So somebody says, I want to give people the gift of healthy eating. Yo, you can't help people eat healthy if you don't eat healthy. You can help people be at peace if you're not at peace. So the first thing, you got to make wellness your business before you start your wellness business. And then start sharing the business of your wellness as you start your wellness business. So somebody says, I'm not actually fully ready to coach people yet. That's good. Somebody said, you don't have to go out and start coaching people if you're not ready. Don't do that, because you actually might make a bad name for yourself and you can actually hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. You heard that? So you got to heal first before you start hurting people. So you're like, yo, you got to make the process an important part of your development. So I told you, my life was the process. I was always an athlete, playing sports. So I literally learned about the body early on. God blessed me with this gift and skill set. So I was then able to develop that for years and years and years. And then one day I said, oh, let me bring that out. But I brought it out where I was. I'm just a personal trainer, fitness coach. I'm not no holistic healer. I'm not a holistic doctor. I'm just a personal trainer. I know that I can help you get from unfit to fit by motivating you, by helping you get exercise without getting injured, and you're going to have fun with it. So I said, what did I have? I asked myself, what do I have right now that I can give? So I want you to ask yourself this question. What do you have right now that you can give? What do you have right now that you can give? So what you have right now is what you start sharing and giving. What you have in your mind, what you have, your experiences, your heart, your knowledge, you share that. And then as you share more and more in that, there's going to be a calling for your evolution if you answer the calling. Some people never really evolve because they get stuck to what they had. They don't grow. They don't become better, so they get stuck to it. Shout out to you, Marcus. Get on that health journey. You need any help? I've always been doing this. So holla at me. So you start from where you're at. You give what you have, and then somehow the universe works to create something deeper. So what I did was I started with 4 cones at my apartment, and I didn't have access to a gym. Because I didn't have access to a gym, what I did was I said, I'm going to help people outside. So I said, hey, I've always played sports. I played basketball, I played football, I ran track, bowling, volleyball, wrestling. I did all of these sports. So I said, hey, people want to lose weight. They want to get in shape. Here's what I'm going to do. So I said, hey, you know what? Let's play sports and then you're going to lose weight. So I had people play basketball. I had people swim. I had people push my car. I had people play tic-tac-toe. I had people do squats. So I actually said, you know what? How about I put dance into it? How about I put hip culture into it? Because people are not they don't want to just do boring workouts. So out of your lack, become innovative. So let's say this, out of my lack, I'm going to choose innovation over lack. Okay, I heard this from Tony Robbins, changed my life. I told you, I do what I do now because somebody did it for me. So he was like, if you don't have the resources, you have to become resourceful. And I like to break the word resourceful like this. If you're resourceful, that means you're full of resources. If you're successful, that means you're full of success. If you're impactful, that means you're full of impact. So that means you have to reveal the resources that's inside of you because you're resourceful. So now you have to become creative. The more creative you can become, the more you can attract. So now, here's what I want you to think. People want to reduce pain and increase pleasure. One of the books that I read that transformed my life was actually Unlimited Power. It was a Tony Robbins book. Actually, I started my show based on that book because I was holding the book. I was like, what should I call my show? I said, you know what, Unlimited Power. And then I read another book called E-Myth Enterprise, which was this book that changed my idea of what a business is, right? Instead of looking at a business as a way to make money, I looked at it as a business to help people transform. Right? So now the E-Myth Enterprise transformed my life because now it was my idea of business transformed. Right? Because now it was not, oh, this is way bigger. This is way bigger than a business. So you start from that. And I was like, oh, okay, people want to get away from pain into pleasure. How do you help that? So you got to think about, what are the pain points of your customer? What are your pain point of your target market? There's something called target market. That is the people who can best use your service to get that transformation, your target market. So over time, my target market changed. So I started with college students, like Facebook started on college campus because that's where Mark Zuckerberg was at. Apple started in a garage. This is where he was at. So you start where you're at. So somebody says, how do I start my wellness business? Where you're at. Where you're at with what you have and who you are so far. And if you don't think that you have enough, then grow to get to a point where you have something to give. And the way you grow to have something to give is to get better. Right? Jim Rohn said, if you want life to change, you have to change. If you want life to get better, you got to get better. So by you getting better, your life get better, you can help somebody else get better. Each one, teach one. Somebody says, but there's a lot of people that's doing it. There's so many, but everybody resonates differently with certain people. You have a tribe out there. You have people that resonate with you. You have people that can relate to your story. You have a specific people that you can impact in a positive way, and it's a ripple effect, and we need to do that to raise the vibration of the earth. And I say wellness is one of the biggest fields we can do it. Now, I see my brother Marcus here on the live, and I'd like to acknowledge the people I've met because you guys are also part of my tribe, because you're not just a social media profile. You're a human being, a powerful human being that I know that have brands and ventures. So what I love about what Marcus does is he has something called Well-Groomed Lifestyle. By the way, y'all tapping into the podcast, check out Well-Groomed Lifestyle on Facebook, Instagram, and tap in. So basically, he took a concept that's existed for years. I've always went to the barber, not recently, you know what I'm saying? But I've always went to the barber, but it's not always been an experience towards like, yo, it's wellness, towards it's a lifestyle. And the word lifestyle, I'm going to go back to that, right? What he's doing is he's saying, hey, you know what? We're not just going to cut hair. We're not just going, but we're going to cut more than that. We're gonna cut emotional states that no longer serve people by helping them feel good. We're gonna create a zen environment for people to get in. I'm actually gonna take what I'm doing currently and adding a wellness component to it. So that means, and this is deep, because that means that all of the ideas that already existed, the business that really facilitate a product or service to the end consumer, can be transformed to a wellness business if you look at what the human really need. You give them what they want, but you also give them what they need. I want a haircut. But you know what I really need more than a haircut? I need to, after I leave the haircut, my self-confidence. So you think like, yo, how can I turn my business to a wellness business? Maybe I put affirmations on the wall. Like maybe on the receipt there's something. Maybe my customer loyalty program has something to do with, I'll literally reward you for taking care of yourself. And by getting rewarded for taking care of yourself, this person says, hey, this business is inspiring me. So this morning during Rise and Prime, I told the tribe, which is a private community that I have, that I bring down this information step by step. I take all the stuff that I've learned along the way from content creation and healing and Qigong and movement. I put all of that in a community. So I had Rise and Prime, and I was telling them, listen, you want to be a purposeful, profitable brand. And this is what really the E-Myth enterprise is all about. This is what really transformed. This is one of the pillar things, not the only thing, just a starting point, something that sparked an idea that led to an unveiling for the last 6-7 years, right? So you want to create a purposeful, profitable brand. No matter what brand that you have that makes a profit, it can be purposeful if you're not just thinking about how to get yours. If you're really saying, hey, I'm not just selling a product here, I'm selling an experience. Not only am I selling experience, I'm solving a pain point for somebody. And also, I'm not dealing with a customer, I'm dealing with another human being. So when I first started my business, I never liked calling my clients because people would call some people personal training clients. So I called them fam. I said flex fam. Now my business first name was Slim Thick Fitness. Then I changed it to Flex Fitness and Performance. I didn't call my business customers clients. I called them fam. I called them athletes because I created a certain thing. I said fitness is a lifestyle, and I called the people who train using sport flex athletes. I called them flex fam. I made them the star. I motivated them without having to motivate them. I recorded them, created videos showing their journey. This is 4 or 5 years ago. Like I was ahead of the curve. I was literally one of the first, I was early on being a personal trainer on Instagram, pretty much. That was like 2014. So I was really early on, and I did documentaries of my clients. So think about it. You have a shop, and Marcus, here's another idea. What I did was, Marcus, I'm giving you a game. You should pay me for this. I'm just kidding. It's free for you, brother. It's free for you. But you have customers come in, right? Now, you put a camera right there and you record the experience, and you create I just got myself taken care of. I don't just get haircuts, I get the full experience. And now you create these little documentaries of different people, of the interactions you having with them. Now, when other people saying that, they get inspired by it because they can see themselves in your customer, which I say, don't call them a customer, call them something that is that you come up with that is in alignment with your business. For instance, a well-groomed individual. You know what? We don't call them customers, we call them a well-groomed king, a well-groomed queen. I say a flex, I used to say flex fam, right? So you say, well, okay. So now you record the process, and now you put out the process. Other people are like, whoa, I want that experience. So this is why people used to come to train with me, and they were so excited. They was like, I can't wait to train. I was in college in Boca. People in Miami hit me up like, yo, you need to come back. Why did you leave us? You need to come back and train us. Well-groomed brother. I love that. I love that. I love that. Yo, so people would come back, and they're like, yo, I need you to train me, because when they saw people and their experiences, they're like, yo, that can be me. That's what you want. That's what you want to create. You want people to say, that can be me. First of all, you want to be the representation of that can be me. Second of all, you want your customers or clients to be a representation of that can be me. So not only do you model what you teach and preach, your customers also model what you preach and teach. So now, not only are you promoting your business, the people who come to your business promote your business. And now that you're marketing them, they're going to like, share, and repost your content. Because you don't make the business about you, you make the business about the transformation you provide. So for instance, let's see who's in the chat. We got holistic practitioners in the chat. We got graphic designers in the chat. You know, I'm in touch with y'all because, you know, I follow y'all too. It's not a one-way thing. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. So now, I need to get my brand on point for my business, right? And you know what a logo does? You know how a logo transforms, the evolution of logos? Like, yo, look at the first logo, look at the second logo, look at the third logo, and look how this logo transformed this person's business. And then now you're telling the experience of that. Or like somebody starts to, I was unhealthy, I was tired, sluggish, depressed. And what is their journey of now you helping them with your holistic lifestyle coaching? How did they transform? Are you taking clips of the Zoom meetings you're having with them, showing like day 1, day 2? What I did for my clients was I recorded them. I told you, I have a mixture of video, marketing, I have all these things blending together. What I would do is I'd say, hey, I want to record you before the process. Give yourself a message 30 days later. So I say, you sit in front of the camera and I want you to give yourself a message 30 later. So the person would say, okay, in 30 days, they're talking to themselves in first person, third person, whatever it's called. And they're talking to themselves. And then I'm recording the process, and then 30 days later, I'm showing the results. So now I make a highlight of how they transform. They're inspired. They get in the spirit of it. And this does not just keep people excited or sharing your content. This keeps people coming back. What I realized was when you document a journey and you repost that journey, people say, hey, I remember when. Remember when? Now they're like, oh, snap. I remember that. I need to get back on track with that. I need to get back on that because they remember it. It brings up an emotional state. So somebody says, but how do I actually get started? Where do I get from? I love those ideas, but what's the first thing you start with is I start with a social media profile, a logo, and a mission description of what I'm looking to create. That's how I started every single Instagram profile, which became a business. A logo and a description. And then from there on, I committed first, figure the rest out later. I created, I thought of the name, keep the name, get the domain. You get the domain, get the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, get all of the names at the at names. Secure it fast. If you got the name, I need you to get that name as fast as you can, because you might not have it 5 years. You might not have it a couple months from now. That domain might be bought out, and you might even express it, and somebody go steal it, and then they try to sell it back to you. So I need you to think about the business name that you want, the logo idea that you want, and then the caption. Now somebody says, I don't have the brand pictured in my mind, I don't have the brand figured out yet. Listen, before you come up with a brand, you are the brand. So let's say this again. Before you come up with the brand, you are the brand, so you have to start to share your experiences. So you have to start to share your story, and that's through your personal brand that builds that enough so that when you create another brand, if it's not mixed with your personal brand, you can direct people to it. And somebody says, how do I become a brand? I become a brand by, the way that you become a brand is by being intentional about how you bring yourself out, being intentional of what you share, being intentional of how you document and tell a story. The brands that stick and last long are not the brands that start with 50% off sale for my lock sale. It's not that start off like that. It's the brand that says, hey, I was, back then, I used to have to wear perm, and my hair was falling out, and I didn't really like it, and then you know what, I just stopped using that, and then I started looking really sloppy, but then I figured out, like, I found some hair products that was working, but they wasn't really that good, so I said, you know what, I want to create my own hair product, so I created my own hair oil, and Inmode's Miracle Oil, and then now I started putting in my hair, now my hair starts growing, so what I started to do is now I started to share it to some of my friends, and this is what my friends said about it, and now I'm bringing it to you, and I would really like it if you could support this, because it transformed my life. I'm pretty sure it will transform your life too. Would you like to support me in starting this new venture? They're like, of course, take my money now. So, because now it's not like, you're not trying to sell me, you sold me on you. You trying to sell people your product, you're the first product that you need to sell people in. By that I mean, you're the first product. You are. How your life transforms is what you need to sell, the transformation more. So you become an authentic brand. Those stick. Now, some authentic brands may take longer to become massively profitable, but they last longer. So what I mean by that, they last longer. They mean more to people. And if anything, you want your brand to mean more to people than, because here's what's happening in the world. And I'm a visionary. I give myself credit for that. We're shifting from brands that just take our money to brands that care about us, That's why we're not really buying from big box brand. That's why if a CEO does something out of line, we kind of say, nah, we're not doing business with them. Because we understand the power is in us. That's what the E-Myth Enterprise shares. And this is the first book we're reading as part of the tribe, the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe, is E-Myth Enterprise. Because one of the things I talk about is we want to be purposefully profitable brands. Purposefully profitable brands. Purposefully profitable brands. Tongue twister, right? You're like, why? The world needs it. The E-Myth Enterprise, How to Turn a Thriving Business, How to Turn a Great Idea to a Thriving Business by Michael E. Gerber. This author is one of the major authors in this game. He really shares some great information. I read this in Starbucks when I had nowhere to sleep, and I was sleeping in my car, and I was trying to figure out how to start my brand and transform my life, transform the way I see everything. So that's why I'm recommending it. That's why we're reading into it in the book club. If you're interested in the book club, actually comment below book club. If you're interested in the book club, let me know. Okay. Cassie, next week you're gonna know about it because you're gonna be in a Zoom meeting at 8 a.m. I'll be telling you about it. So, and I'll DM to you after. I'll take your picture. I'll DM it to you. By the way, my DMs are open. Yeah, my DMs are open. I'm not a big shot. I'm not like, oh my goodness, you can't reach Ed. No, just DM me. I got a book club. I got a lot of stuff that's in my community, private community. And the way I see business is, what does the world need that your talent and gift can provide? That's how I see business. It's, for me, business is not like, how do I manipulate people so I can get money? That's so, like, that's not going to fulfill you. How do I get people to know what solution to the world's problem that your gift can provide? What transformation to somebody's life that your experience can help make happen? Okay? That's so deep. And the way I look at business is from a holistic lens. And the way I look at, that's why I express this, and this is why it's so powerful, okay? What value can you give? Okay? However, you also have to understand that in order for you to be able to sustain and give value, you have to treasure and value yourself first. In the beginning of my businesses, one of the major mistakes I made was I devalued myself because I didn't know if I was worthy. I didn't know if people should pay me that much. So I started off by I started by charging people $15 for one personal training session. Now, they were broke college students, so I had a reason. Why I did that. But then I said, I can't sustain that. So I went at $25. And I was like, you know what? As your price raises, you get a higher level of dedication. That's what I found out. I was like, oh, you know what? The college students may not be able to pay $25 per personal training session or $50, but they can pay $15 for a group one. So guess what? Don't be afraid to raise your prices because there's always another model of which somebody that can't afford your higher tier can buy. I had to learn this by experience. So I was like $15 and $20. As my price went up, my customer base changed. So $15 were like the people who was not really dedicated. They just like, oh, this is so cheap, I'm gonna buy it. So in 1 month they quit, so they got half the results. And I don't like giving people half results. I hate that because it doesn't really show that my product or service works. I want people to dedicate and get full results. So I'm like, it's either you get. So when I put $35, then now I was wondering why I didn't get Working Professionals. Working Professionals says, you're charging $15? LA Fitness charges this much. You must not be good. But I was like, so good. I'm like so valuable and talented. Can I speak some good about me? Like, I'm so valuable and talented. Like, I was so innovative in the fitness world. Like, it was like, yo, I'm really good at it. But people thought I wasn't good because my price was low. You know what? People thought I wasn't good because I don't have that many followers. Or people thought I was good because they're not seeing what's in me, they're seeing what looks like it. Everything that glitters ain't gold, and everything that looks small ain't that small, because the person has something powerful within them. Then my price went to $50. That's when my business went to a higher level. My business went to a higher level when I brought the $50 a session. Now people was like, okay, now my business model shifted. People come to my apartment. People not coming to my apartment. I am bringing the gym to them. So now it was like, I am bringing the gym to you. Flex Fitness Flex Fitness and Performance is a mobile personal training company that brings the gym to you. No longer do you need to suffer with boring workouts and staying long hours at the gym that no longer serve you. Why don't you get in shape by playing sports that help you lose weight? The most innovative and fun way to get in shape. Fitness is a lifestyle, and it should not be something that you dread doing. People are like, hell yeah, Ed. You see, that's a great business model. I'm going to bring it back for holistic practitioners. Flex Holistic is what it is now. So now my business was Flex Fitness and Performance. Now it's Flex Holistic. We're going to go back to that, how your business will transform as you transform. It will evolve as you evolve. So now I'm working out with people who are working professionals who have real jobs. In fact, I'm in Boca Raton, so people have actual money. I'm like, oh snap, this is pretty cool. I'm 20 years old. I'm coaching somebody 40, and what I was coaching people with their bodies, I was actually helping them with their mind. I was not just a personal trainer now, because I'm motivating them. This is how I became a motivational speaker. People don't know that. But I was just like, I'm an athlete. I can help people lose weight. And then I had to become inspirational. I had to grow up fast. I had to become very mature, because it was not like I had to have a certain impact to really motivate people. And I'm like, yo, keep pushing, keep going. I'm like, somebody says, you know what? I started my diet last weekend, but I gave up on it. What do I need to do? I'm like, okay. You know, it's not, I know, look, you can start today, you can start fresh. So now I'm listening to speakers like Les Brown, Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, every day in my car, and yo, it's developing me. Then I'm like, you know what? People don't just need fitness. People need more than fitness. They need motivation, inspiration, they need guidance. So my business transformed. I raised my prices, I got a higher tier of customers. So you will transform with your business as you get better. But then here's the thing. So first thing is to get started, another thing is to grow, add tools to your belt. So you're like, yo, I need to learn more, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. So how do you learn more stuff? You have to become a seeker. If you seek, you will find. If you knock, the door will be open unto you. Those who seek will find, and those who knock, the door will be open up unto you, okay? So what I mean by that, what you seek, you will find. The door will be open up to you. So I kept thinking like, okay, you know what? I got this fitness stuff. I got all these great ideas, but I don't know enough about nutrition. People are coming with emotions that I don't know how to really help them with. So I sought to get better in order to help my people that I was helping get better. Because I was like, they need more than what I'm giving them. So I met more teachers. So my name came from, like Cassie says, CEO Ambitionist, because to the holistic motivator. I evolved, my business evolved, my name changed. I started from Flex Fitness and Performance to Flex Holistic. I evolved, my business evolved. That was the evolution transformed. I realized, oh, people don't just need to get in shape physically, they need mental fitness. People don't need to get in shape just physically, they need emotional fitness. I was like, oh, people don't just need to get in shape physically, they need to build the consistency habit. So I started podcasting. I started to do shows. I started interviewing. I was like, how do I become a seeker? I got into podcasting. So one of the major ways you can become a seeker and get information for free is by picking somebody's brain on your podcast. I learned that 3-4 years ago. Now a lot of people started podcasting, but I started a show called Unlimited Power. So I would meet people in different places. This is how I met my teacher. And I would meet people in different places. I'm like, yo, you know what? I'd like to have a conversation with you on my show. I'm a college student. Let me tell you, I am homeless at this point. I'm homeless. I'm sleeping in my car. I'm training people. I'm meeting people because I'm not stuck to a job, which means I'm running races. I'm living a normal life. I'm not looking like crazy or anything. People don't know I'm homeless. It's not like, yo, I'm on the side of the street begging people. I'm working professional. I'm making actual money. I'm helping people. I just decided that, hey, I went through an eviction. I lost so much. I was like, you know what? I don't want to have the stress of having to worry about bills every day. I just want to learn. I just want to live off the land. So I spent time in parks. I spent time in beaches. I met so many great people by just having free time. So now I had time to work on my business. I didn't have all these obligations like rent bill, light bill. It was so much work, man. Dealing with all of that when you're 19, 20. I had my own apartment. It was like, yo, too much. I lost it, but I gained a lot. So I'm like, yo, come talk to me on the show. Now I'm telling you, because I don't have to give my time to the man, I gave my time to a podcast. I gave my time to development. I gave my time to sitting at the library reading E-Myth. Now some people could have done the opposite. But I did that. But that's not all I did. I did other things too that did not serve me. You know, I did stuff like I smoked a lot of, you know, stuff. You know, I partied a lot too. I didn't just do all the good stuff. But those bad stuff, kind of like, not bad stuff, those things that were distractions, was like, okay, I need to try to evolve more because I'm running away, obviously, from stress, depression, anxiety. I needed to learn how to not be stressed, worried. I was a super warrior. In 2015, bro, I worried so much because I was like, man, I'm about to lose. My future is messed up. I don't know how I'm going to do it. What people are going to think of me, my confidence, everything was like, so much. I had to grow out of my situation. That's why I do what I do. People were like, yo, where does that come from? I didn't watch somebody. My life taught me this stuff. So I'm at the beat. I ran a track. I'm running like a 5K. This guy and when you use your gifts, people get attracted to you. So I told you, I was always an athlete. I'm a long distance runner. And I'm MVP. I'm like, I got this whole back thing of being a scholar athlete, right? So like, yo, I'm running. I win the race. And this guy says like, yo, man, that was a great race. How did you? And he was turns out this guy was his name was Dr. Eli Homowitz. He was like, yo, I'm an acupuncturist, physician. And I like to, how did you get so good? What are you doing? And I told him, oh, you know what? I had a whole conversation. And then I said, why don't we finish this conversation on a show? I just started at OWL TV, which was on my college campus. I don't have that much money. I don't have equipment, but I was resourceful. I didn't have a studio, but I was resourceful. I was at a college that had the resources that I used for free to start something. So somebody says, man, I don't have this, I don't have that. Be resourceful. You're going to find a way. When you have to find a way, you find a way. So I said, hey, come on. He was my first guest ever. And guess what? I didn't know that this was the beginning of me being interested in holistic wellness. So I started interviewing him. I'm going to post some of that content on my page. So he's like, yo. And I'm like, oh, snap, there's a different world out here. So then I just said, you know what? Let's keep podcasting. So I started inviting more and more people. So now these became little master classes for me. I'm sitting in, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm learning from these coaches. I'm learning from these people starting their businesses. And that transformed my life. Because like Tony Robbins says, it's not if you have the resources. It's not about, most people fail not because the lack of resources, but the lack of resourcefulness. Not the lack of resources, but the lack of resourcefulness. If you look in front of you, you're going to see what you really got. But what people don't do is they look at the people who's like, yo, oh man, this man has 100,000, 200,000 followers. There's a guy right there with 5,000 followers that you just probably need to like talk to. There's your friend right there, and they have so much information. So I started looking on the sides too, and I started to see that the people around me were the people who are growing to become the people at the top. And that's when it sparked me. I was like, oh, that's in me, and in them too. So yo, I need to talk to them too. Not just those people who made it, but those people who's... So I said, oh, there is seekers, there's teachers, and there's healers. There's people who got there, there's people who's getting there. All of them have value. All of them add value. So I sectioned my podcast where I didn't just interview people who made it. I also interviewed people who were making something out of themselves. And they taught me a whole lot, as much as the people who made it. So by podcasting, I started to create a talent, a gift, cultivate a skill set, and I started to share, and people started to become attracted to me more. And I started to build a brand image. Because when people see you doing something, they get excited about it because they're like, yo, whoa, I knew you. I went to high school with you. Oh, I knew you. You came from Haiti. You was in Esau. I knew you. Like, how did you do that? How are you speaking like that? I don't know. Like, yo, that's inspiring. I could do that too. So that added something, right? Just by doing what you're doing, somebody says, how do I become a profitable, purposeful brand? Do what you're good at and just do it well. People are going to be inspired by that. Because the people who's on the side of you, they're like, yo, I know where you come from. How you doing that? And they're going to be like, oh, can you help me with that? Like, yo, I remember when you was 30 pounds overweight. How'd you lose it? Can you help me with that? The things that you don't even have to think about are the things you probably need to start teaching. Like the reason why I'm talking to you like this, I don't need to think about what I need to say, because I've lived it, and I'm living it, and it's becoming. I just have to express who I am. So I'm like, okay, I have this show, and I'm meeting these teachers, and then one day, and I'm gonna leave it here. I'm at the beach for a whole year, and this is something too. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, but sometimes the teacher is right next to you, but you're not ready, so you're not taking advantage of it. This is what I mean. I used to go to the beach all of the time training people, and I told you I had beach workout, park workout, sports workouts, and I saw somebody doing, qigong, tai chi, and his name is Dr. Love. But I just saw him doing it, and I'm thinking I'm this personal trainer guy. I already know what I'm doing. I don't need nobody. So I just kept doing what I'm doing. And then one of these days, I said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I started talking to him. I ain't never really followed up, but one day I said, "You know what? I gotta follow up. I have to follow up." So what I did was, I said, "Can you come to my show?" And I interviewed him. This is in 2017. And I interviewed him. I'm having a whole conversation. And you saw that interview when he was saying beans and greens and fruit and greens. This is the way that you must eat if you want to be the best of your feet. I said the greens, the beans, and fruit and greens. I was like, whoa, this man. And I'm like this. You saw my face on the interviews. I'm like, what the? Back then I had the RBF face to the max. I was not like this at all. I had to transform so much. I had to heal so much, but that's a longer story. I'll tell you all about that another day. So I'm like, this man is amazing. He's like, man, you know that we've been breathing wrong? I'm like, how do you breathe? He's talking about, I'm like, what are you talking? I've never heard of this before. And I'm like, he's like, take a deep breath. I'm like, no, you got to use your diaphragm. And think of a balloon. When you put air in a balloon, what happens? The balloon expands. When you push the air out, it contracts. I'm like, what? So here's what I did. I realized I had no money for this man to teach me. I realized I didn't have too much, but what I had was a skill set. All my life, I'm not just an athlete. I've been making videos forever. I started, my first business was called Priceless Capture. I made videos that look like movies and TV shows, kids' birthday parties. I've been doing this stuff since middle school. So I was like, you know what, Dr. Love, I don't have money for you to take your certification program. Tell you what, but I have a skill set. I know you need video. Listen, what if I followed you around and you just teach me what you know? I'll just be your video guy. So that's how I got started. I became from that day on forward, 2017, I followed him around, and a month later, I'm sleeping in his house, and I'm just recording everything, right? I'm just recording, creating content. I'm just creating content. I'm giving value, because I understood I didn't have money to pay, but I had a skill set, so I worked for free. While most people was like, I work for free because I realized I was getting paid in knowledge and wisdom. So I wasn't making too much money then, In fact, my personal training started to go down. So sometimes for your evolution to happen, you have to slowly shift. I'm still training people, but I don't know, I was shifting. I needed free time to just learn and become. So I just followed everything he was doing. And I'm like always around. I'm always around. And somebody, see your boss lady, I thank you. Thank y'all for commenting the quotes and keeping it alive and participating, and I love it. Appreciate it. It keeps me hyped, keeps me going. I appreciate y'all. Supports me a lot. Thank you. So I was like, you know what? I started to learn. Then I started learning. But in the beginning, I was taking stuff for granted a little bit, mind you. But my mind still took it. I still learned it. And then as I got 2018, 2019, I started to learn way more and more. Now, I literally can tell you so much about it because I've been around it. I'm editing. Every time I'm editing, I'm getting the knowledge twice. It's like rewatching course content you're creating. I'm creating course content. And if you go to Dr. Chi Love's profile and look at all his videos, every single video on that page is content I created, that I'm creating to this day. Because really, I'm working on building this to be global. So long story short, after you find out what your gift is and purpose is, you transform. There's a transformation that happens when you say, hey, I'm going to dedicate myself to learning. I'm going to learn from somebody, and then guess what? You get to the next level, right? And then you sacrifice, right? You sacrifice some present pleasures for the future fulfillment and rewards that come with it. It means Dr. Chi Love, at Dr. Chi Love, okay? So I sacrificed that, and it transformed a lot, okay? Long story short, what I sought out to do in the beginning, which was help people live holistically, is not what I'm doing. And now I am teaching what my life taught me. That's all I do. I'm teaching what my life taught me, and as I learn more, I'm going to teach more and more and more. And the whole thing is, this is creating it all. So most people, what's going to happen is they wait up until like the top to even inquire about it, right? So like I also tell people, just tap in, like learn some of this stuff. You want to start your own wellness business? Maybe like, yo, you need some more information on wellness. Maybe you need to learn how emotions are in the body. Maybe you need to learn new art to teach. Maybe you need to learn Qigong. Maybe you need to learn how to get in shape. That's what I teach. So, yo, I'm saying that too. The student also becomes a teacher. So I'm saying, yo, maybe you need a transformation of health. Yo, come and learn from somebody. Learn from me. Shoot, I'm going to say it straight up. Learn from me. Join the community I created around this stuff, where I teach Qigong, where I talk about the body, where I'm actually going in and showing people how to edit and make content. So I came full circle with all of it. You too, Cassie. And I want y'all to tap in. So go to holisticlifestyletribe.com and join as well. Because I give y'all a lot of value in their lives. And if this is a podcast, by the way, and the podcast, go to edtalksdaily.com. Let me drop it. edtalksdaily.com. You can subscribe and listen to this in the audio. It's on Spotify. It's on every podcast platform. Okay? It's on every podcast platform called edtalksdaily.com. So if you learn from that and you want look, the podcast is education. The tribe is transformation. The podcast is education and inspiration. The tribe is transformation, because there we do the actual work. There I actually teach you the movement. There actually, if you want to just try it out, in fact, just go to holisticlifestyletribe.com and sign up for a free 7-day trial, right? And then you're going to get access from Monday to Sunday next week. holisticlifestyletribe.com. Monday to Sunday next week. And you're going to get access to the daily Zoom meetings that I have at 7 a.m. Access to the book club. We're going to be reading the E-Myth Enterprise. And you're going to access to Qigong classes. And you're going to get one session a week for 15 minutes where you can talk to me during office hours. And you're going to have a community of other wellness practitioners that are going to help you along the journey. So what if you don't just have to start this stuff alone and starting your own wellness business? You can start your own wellness business with a community of people who are already in the space of wellness. What if you can have a support system? What if you can have some motivation every single day that you can go back and rewatch? That's all that's inclusive in the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe. I just made it compatible with your wellness. So it's like this. 10 minutes is mental health check-in. You check in where you're at so you can dictate where you want to go. 20 minutes is movement, mindful movement. A lot of people, they have stuck emotions. They have no vitality because they're not moving enough. And another 20 minutes is personal development. What is the subject of the day? How are you going to grow today? What's the personal development subject? And then the last 5 minutes is affirmation. So the last 5 minutes is when you affirm what you want to create. So we have 5 minutes of check-in, 20 minutes of mindful movement, 20 minutes of personal development, and 5 minutes of affirmations. So that's what normally it is. Sometimes it goes over, and then we're also going to read this book. So if you want to start reading this book with us next week, start moving, start healing. And then we have a seasonal detox that comes with the tribe. So that means every season we detox. This is why it's holistic. Every season we do a cleanse in order to do that. And then I also bring to you the healthy, holistic lifestyle living. So you're not just building a business, but you're building a life. Right? You're not just in the business of health, but you made health your personal business. So it's a support. I give you of the branding and the systems as a paid product, but then I give you what you need. I give you what most people, entrepreneurs, are looking for, which is I need to learn how to build my brand and my business, but then I also give you what you need, which is how to build the brand of yourself, how to heal, how to stay well, how to affirm yourself out of fear, anxiety, worry, depression, anxiety, guilt, all of those things. And all of that works together, okay? So we are tapping in. It's going to be super amazing. So I really want y'all to get to the next level. So just give the thing a try, man. 7-day trial. Listen, you don't even have to pay for it. I just want you to see what I got going on. Like, if y'all say this is valuable, man, yo, this was so valuable to me, Ed. Like, think about how much value you're going to get when you pay for that. Think about what the value you're going to get when you get in the community that actually is the accountability is there. So, yo, I mean, I can keep saying it. I can say it over and over, but I just want y'all to tap in. Just try your first 7-day trial, just 7 days, and you're going to see how it is. And if you don't like it, just cancel your membership, go about your business, and I won't feel any certain way about it. Because guess what? I do a podcast every day. Basically, I give people this stuff, so like valuable information for free every day. Like, why you do that? Because that's what God put me here to do. And I don't want to, look, I know what being, like, I had no money for so long. And then, like, I always had to find a way to learn. And the people I learned from, they were putting out a lot of free stuff. But guess what? I want to be that for somebody. That's why I do it, because I understand. But then now I've monetized my gift by giving people a place to transform. This is where I actually teach how to move. This is where I give you the recipes. This is where I give you the detox plan. This is where I show you stuff. This is where we have conversations back and forth, right? This is when you could get on a coaching call with me and I help you structure a business, a system for your business. This is where I help you with the tech work. So this is where I created a way to give you way more than what you get from just by listening to the podcast. Like, you listen to the podcast, you get inspired, but you're like, yo, I need some guidance. I need some assistance. This is what happens when you sign up for my coaching services. This is what happens when you sign up for the community. You get way more than just, hey, you know what? I kind of got some information, but now I'm led to my own. No, you get some information and some guidance and some coaching. So this is what I give when you join the tribe. You get some information, guidance, coaching, and now I'm bringing my technical skill sets. Y'all see my videos. Y'all see all the different brands I got. Y'all see the color, the font. Yeah, everything is intentional. From the sound signature that you hear both on Instagram and on the podcast, from the color scheme, from the font and categorization. All of these things is what I kind of teach. So if you want to tap into that and the holistic wellness, go to holisticlifestyletribe.com. That's kind of what I give. I help with not just getting the information to help better you, but to better the process of your business. So somebody says, how do I know that this is going to work? Well, guess what? It's going to free your time for you to work better. Because guess what? If you didn't have to send automatic email, if you didn't have to send emails individually, if you had plans that automatically go, if you had a website like holisticlifestyletribe.com, somebody go to and they sign in, there's a system of which everything is delivered to them seamlessly. How much easier would your life be if you had a text message? Like, if you had these things, these little things set in place, how much easier? If you had Zapier connections, where somebody signs up for this, they get added to that. If you had funnels set up, if you had ads set up, all of these things, I'm so good at them because I've always been with the tech. And then I was like, you know what? I just want to help people with their health. So I was hiding away the business because I'm like, okay, I need to niche down. Then I'm like, you know what? Wellness entrepreneurs need the business too. So that's why I started to say, hey, this year I'm going to shift. I'm not just going to tell you how to get in shape, how to get well, how to detox, how to fast. I'm not going to do that, but I'm also going to help you with the business structure because I'm so techie. I'm going to help you with the content creation. I've been using Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, InShot. I edit my content within a few minutes. I manage various brands, like a lot of different brands, a lot of content. I've created a whole talk show with my own efforts. My entire talk show been on TV, all with my own efforts, from producing to editing to getting the guests on, everything. That means that I can help with all of that. That means so much value to be added that you won't know till you ask. You won't know till you join. You won't know till you try for 7 days. Just 7 days. Just give the thing 7 days. So go to check it out. Go to holisticlifestyletribe.com. Join it. get like, yo, what's going to be built is more. It's going to be a community of healers and seekers of healing that come together and build something amazing. So here's what the tribe does. Not only do the people who are producing come together, the people who are seeking come together. So that means that then the tribe becomes people. You have other people to support what you're doing too. And what I look on building, the end goal with Flex Holistic is a platform to, if you go to my other page at Flex Holistic, is a platform to house all of this content in one place for the discovery of the practitioners that come in that place. Right? So I want to be able to create a tech platform so people can discover the people who come within the tribe. So that way now they're not just growing in this community and learning how to build their business, but there's another avenue to expand their brand. And then creating a content creation department so that way you don't have to spend time creating content all day. I'm creating an assembly line for content creation using the gig economy model. Assembly line for content creation using the gig economy model. So that means you get coached on I need to produce this and that. You send it to a producer. We then break it out in a way where you're not paying $200 for one video, but you're paying $200 for like 10 clips that you can repurpose for a launch that's going to work for you. So now you're like, I don't know how to create content. You get coached on like, I just need you to set up the camera here, there, and there. I need you to upload the content. And out of that, being the visionary that I am, will then train certain people to be able to create those content in a way that is in alignment with your brand. And then now you're going to have content to be able to post. So now the goal then goes way farther than that to a social media platform called Flex Holistic for healers and practitioners. I call it for seekers and healers to come together. So then now you're able to house your content and produce your courses and your experiences on one platform that is specifically around wellness. So I got a lot of things in the work. I got these ideas written down 3 years ago. They're written down, but it's like, I told people, you can have really deep stuff in you, but it takes a while for people to recognize it. And I just keep going regardless if people recognize it, because I already know it's in me. Like, people might not see it, but I just keep doing it, because I'm like, I know it. God put something so fire in me, like my whole life been building me for this. And I had to, last year, and I want to leave it here. Last year I had to dismantle fear about what I wanted to do. Because I was like, this is so big that it's scary. But I'm like, I'm going to work on these little in stages. I'm working in stages, and I'm putting it all together. So I launch one thing, and I launch another thing. I launch one thing, and I launch another thing. I launch one thing. Then now I'm building influence, impact. And then boom, one day I drop a platform on them. Boom, they're like, I didn't know you had tech ideas. They're like, oh my goodness, I've been watching your videos for 7 years. I'm like, you know what? I want to be on your platform. So guess what? They're going to join it. So right now it is the beginning of this. This stuff is going to be global, but I want y'all to get in on it now. So just tap in holisticlifestyletribe.com. You won't regret it. The power is powerful. So just give the thing a try, 7-day trial. I'm pretty much done. I'm about to go get me an acupuncture treatment because I got some stuff to do. I got some content to create. I got some. In fact, I've helped Dr. Love create a whole new system, launch a whole academy. Like, I've literally helped people get so much results. Like, so tap in. So I got to go help him with that after I get my treatment and stuff. So I'm pretty much going to tap out now. I'm pretty much, if y'all don't find the value in it yet, then, sooner or later, I'll keep giving you more. And maybe you find the value later. Maybe you're going to start the 7-day trial when you're ready. Like I said, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So peace and love to y'all. Remember, you have the unlimited power in you to release the gift that's in you. Man, you got that gift. But every book you read is a stepping stone. Like, I love what Jim Rohn said, that Mr. Sheriff told him. He said, listen, every book that you read is you're stepping pretty much on a ladder so that you can see more that's available for you. And that's what it is. Every piece of information, every time you show up, you're getting better, so you can reveal what's in you already. So keep revealing your gifts. Remember, you have the unlimited power in you to achieve whatever it is that you have to do. But first, you have to believe it in order to achieve it. And until that happens, the world will forever miss all your talents, all your gifts, and all the great things you got to. Remember, let your light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it, It's the Holistic Motivator. Thank you for watching. You here. Peace. Yeah, go to edtalksdaily.com to subscribe to the podcast after you get that free 7-day trial. All right, I'm out.